Every night, you sleep on a soft mattress. But prehistoric humans had to lie on cold, damp ground, surrounded by insects, sharp stones, and things moving in the dark. Sometimes, choosing the wrong place to sleep could mean never waking up again. So how did they survive the night before beds looked anything like ours? The answer was surprisingly simple, and far more intelligent than it looked. Imagine the fire is fading. The shelter is growing darker. You lower yourself onto bare ground and immediately feel a hard stone pressing into your hip. The soil is uneven, wet in places, and covered with broken branches, sharp rocks, or animal remains. There is no pillow, no blanket, no soft surface to spread your weight. Every time you move, something else presses into your body. But discomfort is not the real danger. The ground is slowly pulling heat away from you. When your warm body touches cold soil or stone, heat moves into the colder surface. Dry ground is already unpleasant. Wet ground is worse. Moisture can speed up heat loss and make the body cool more quickly. A cold night does not need to freeze someone immediately to become dangerous. It can interrupt sleep, drain energy, and slow reactions the next morning. Finding food, making tools, watching for danger, and protecting children all required attention. A bad night could weaken the entire next day. But the cold was only the first problem. Because the ground was not empty, it was alive. Depending on the region, insects, ticks, snakes, or other small animals could move through the same layer where humans slept. Some bit, some irritated the skin, some carried parasites. Others simply appeared in the wrong place at the worst possible moment. We cannot claim that every prehistoric human faced a deadly creature every night. But the danger did not need to happen every night. It only needed to happen often enough for people to recognize the pattern. Sleeping directly on the ground placed the body inside the same moving layer used by crawling animals. And once a person fell asleep, the ability to react became much slower. That was the deeper problem. Sleep itself made humans vulnerable. Your eyes close, your muscles relax, your awareness of the environment falls. A sound may happen several times before the brain fully understands it. A dying fire may not be restored. Water may enter the shelter. Something dangerous may move nearby. Humans still needed sleep, even though the environment did not stop being dangerous after sunset. So the real challenge was not simply finding somewhere to lie down. It was creating safety while unconscious. At some point, humans stopped accepting the ground exactly as they found it. They began to change it. They cleared away sharp stones, selected flatter areas, collected grass, leaves, reeds, and other soft materials. Then they arranged those materials into a thick layer between the body and the soil. This was not a wooden bed. It had no legs, no frame, no headboard, and definitely no confusing instruction manual. But it solved several problems at once. The plants softened the surface. They spread body weight across a larger area. They reduced direct contact with cold stone. They trapped small pockets of air that helped slow heat loss. They also created a barrier between human skin and the moving ground below. It looked like a pile of grass, but in practice, it was survival technology. Then archaeologists found something beneath some of these plant layers: ash. At ancient sites in southern Africa, researchers have reported plant material associated with layers of ash. Border Cave is one important example. Some archaeological interpretations suggest that people prepared sleeping surfaces there deep in the Stone Age, possibly around 200,000 years ago. If that interpretation is correct, humans were engineering safer sleeping places long before cities, farms, or written history. The ash raises a fascinating possibility. One theory proposes that it made the sleeping area drier and less favorable for crawling insects. Researchers have also suggested that some plants may have been chosen because their smell or natural chemicals discouraged pests. We cannot know for certain. People may simply have gathered whatever was soft, dry, nearby, and easy to carry. But the combination of plant material, ash, and repeated layers suggests that people were doing more than dropping grass randomly. They were preparing a place, using it, cleaning it, and preparing it again. But how can archaeologists identify a bed when the bed itself has disappeared? Grass, leaves, wood, and animal skins usually decay. Archaeologists therefore look for patterns: concentrated plant remains, ash, repeated layers, changes in the soil, evidence that the same area was used in the same way again and again. One patch of grass could be accidental. Wind can carry plants into a shelter. Animals can move vegetation. But the same organized pattern appearing repeatedly is much harder to explain. One layer may be an accident. Repeated layers begin to look like behavior. That behavior also created a new problem. After several nights, the bedding would become damp, dirty, and attractive to pests, so the material had to be removed or replaced. At some sites, repeated ash layers have led researchers to suggest that old bedding may have been burned or cleared before fresh plants were added. We cannot assume every ash layer came from cleaning a sleeping area. fires served many purposes. But removing or burning old plants would have offered clear advantages. Old material disappeared. Pests lost their hiding places. Fresh dry plants created a cleaner surface. Ancient laundry day may have used less soap and considerably more smoke. But this routine reveals something bigger than hygiene. It shows that sleep was becoming a planned activity. A shelter could have different zones. One area for fire, another for tools, another for food preparation, and another for sleeping. Prehistoric shelters did not always have walls dividing these activities, but people could still assign different purposes to different parts of the space. A sleeping area became a repeated location instead of a random patch of ground. That means humans were not only reacting to discomfort, they were planning ahead. They prepared safety before becoming vulnerable. Long before humans built bedrooms, they may already have been creating sleeping zones. This method also worked for groups that moved regularly. A heavy wooden bed would have been useless. Plant bedding could be collected near each shelter, replaced when necessary, and abandoned when the group moved. The important invention was not one permanent object. It was a method. Clear the ground, find dry material, create a barrier, build a temporary zone of safety. Then repeat the process at the next camp. But once some humans began staying in one place for longer, the sleeping surface changed completely. As communities became more settled, sleeping places became permanent. At Skara Brae in Neolithic Scotland, stone-built houses contain large features commonly interpreted as beds. The stone itself would not have been comfortable. Researchers believe it was probably covered with softer organic material, such as grass, skins, or wool. The soft layer still mattered, but now it had a permanent base. The sleeping place had become part of the building. The bed finally had an address. Much later, raised wooden frames created even more distance from soil, moisture, dust, and crawling pests. Ancient Egyptian beds provide clear examples of this later development. Some used wooden frames and woven surfaces to support the body above the floor. Once the sleeper rose above the ground, the surface could remain drier. Air could move beneath it. The sleeping area became easier to clean and maintain. By then, the bed clearly looked like furniture. But beneath the new materials, the original survival logic remained. Separate the sleeper from the ground, create a controlled surface, protect the body during its most vulnerable hours. Your mattress may contain springs, foam, cotton, latex, or memory gel. Your bedroom may have clean sheets, sealed windows, heating, and electric lights. But its basic purpose remains familiar. Keep the body warm, keep it dry, spread pressure. Separate the sleeper from dirt and pests. Make it possible to lose awareness for several hours without constantly fighting the environment. The materials changed. The instinct did not. Every night, you prepare a small controlled zone. You adjust the blanket, move the pillow, check the room, turn off the light, then allow yourself to become vulnerable. You are repeating an ancient behavior with modern materials, and that may be the real invention, not the bed itself, but the idea of preparing safety before sleep. So what did prehistoric humans do before beds looked anything like ours? They changed the ground. They cleared sharp objects, collected dry plants, and created a warmer, softer barrier between their bodies and the soil. At some sites, ash may also have helped keep sleeping areas drier or less favorable for crawling pests. Evidence suggests that this behavior reaches deep into the Stone Age. Some interpretations place prepared bedding at Border Cave at roughly 200,000 years ago, but that would only be the earliest evidence we have found, not necessarily the first bed humans ever made. Most ancient bedding simply disappeared. The oldest bed we find is only the oldest one that survived well enough to be recognized. The first beds were not symbols of luxury. They were layers of protection. Protection from cold ground, moisture, sharp stone, crawling insects, and the dangers that continued moving while humans slept. What looked like a pile of grass was actually practical technology. Simple, local, replaceable, intelligent. The first bed was not created because humans became soft. It was created because the night was still dangerous. And every time you lie down on a clean, dry mattress, you are using the modern version of an ancient survival idea. But sleeping safely was only half the battle. How did prehistoric humans stay warm before blankets existed?